Hello, everyone. Welcome to this information session on the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program offered by the College of Education at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. We're really happy that you're joining us live. This session is also being recorded, and so you can view the recording later on. And for those of you who are unable to join us live, you can view the recording later on as well. So I want to begin by giving you an overview of our session today. So I'm going to do some introductions, start with some introductions. Then I'll give you a brief overview of the ID MasterTrack certificate program. And then we'll hear a little bit more in depth about the curriculum from the faculty leading the program. We'll talk a little bit about the pathway from MasterTrack to Master of Education. And then we'll finish by going over how you can enroll in the MasterTrack certificate program. Next. So I'll begin with some introduction. So my name is Sangeeta Gopalakrishnan, and I am the Director of Online Programs for the College of Education at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I joined the college about a year and a half ago, and I'm involved with facilitating this partnership between Coursera and the College of Education. My background is also in instructional technology. I have a master's in instructional technology, in educational technology, actually, and a PhD in instructional technology. So this course, the certificate program is very much near and dear to me. I'm really interested to be talking to you about the program today. And then I also want to introduce two of my coworkers from the Office of Online Programs here very quickly. Travis.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Travis Giffen. I am the Assistant Director for Online Programs, work to help facilitate the program, help with the partnership with Sangeeta, and then from time to time also work with faculty and students. It is nice to be able to talk with you all this afternoon.
Ina.
Hello, welcome. My name is Gina Poff, and I am the Online Academic and Student Services Coordinator in the College of Education. And I'm just happy to have you here. I assist with sending out the welcome email to students that enroll in our MasterTrack certificate program. That has lots of great information in it, and you can contact me at our MasterTrack certificate email with any questions you have, and I'm happy to assist you.
Great. So shortly, you'll also get a chance to get to know the faculty leading the program, and you'll also get a chance to meet with the chair of the department. So let me quickly give you an overview of the MasterTrack certificate program before you get to hear more in-depth information from the faculty. Next slide, Travis. So to go over the content, really in this Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate program, you will learn to solve real-world learning and performance challenges. You will learn to integrate technology with today's learning environments, and you will master key concepts in instructional and training system design, learning technologies, and much more. So the certificate program is comprised of 2 courses. Each of these courses is for 4 graduate credit hours. So together you will earn 8 graduate credit hours. And these 8 graduate credit hours could be applied to an appropriate graduate program, a master's program. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. So what do you need to, what is the requirement? So to enroll in the MasterTrack certificate program, you need to have a bachelor's degree. Currently, the tuition is $2,384 for both the courses included. It could take anywhere, you can take anywhere from 4 to 7 months to complete. And as I mentioned, you'll earn graduate degree credits. And you will, there will be weekly live sessions which you will attend, and the courses involve hands-on projects. So that's the program at a glance. Next slide. So where do our students come from? Typically, our students come from a variety of settings, from higher education, healthcare, IT, business, K-12, military, and so on. So this is not an exhaustive list, but this is just to give you a sense that our students really come from a variety of settings. Most of them are in full-time careers. So they are looking to earn the certificate so that they can further their careers or maybe even switch careers. So what kind of job titles do our students hold after completing this graduate, the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate? So their job titles include Instructional Designer, Curriculum Developer, E-Learning Specialist, Trainer, Training and Development Specialist, Training and Development Manager, Instructional Coordinator, and much more. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. We just included this list here to give you a sense of the types of careers that are open to you. Next. So now I want to invite the faculty leading the program to meet with you and give you more in-depth information about the curriculum. So let me begin by inviting the chair, Yoon Park, to greet you.
All right, welcome and good day. I don't know if it's morning, afternoon, or evening, so I'm just going to say good day to everyone. We're so happy to have you here and to really partake in potentially the Instructional Design MasterTrack program. And so, oh yeah, I should introduce myself. I am Yoon Park. I'm professor and head of education policy, organization, and leadership. And I've been at the university for about 22 years. So I have a little bit of experience from which to speak. But one of the exciting things about our department and our College of Education, we're the largest department in the college. So there are 3 other departments: curriculum and instruction, educational psychology, special education, and of course us. We typically go by EPOL because the name is a little bit long, but that's okay. It really speaks to the great swath of faculty talent that we have, the multi and interdisciplinary ways in which we approach educational research, which would include instructional design. So just giving you an idea of the wonderful company that you would be with as part of our IDMTC program. So we're wonderfully delighted to have you here. But there's some important things I want to discuss that may not get highlighted, mainly because we have incredible staff here. They are top-notch staff and they provide such incredible hands-on service. So you'll get that. You also are going to be taught by great top-notch scholars in the field. So you have representatives such as Drs. Grace O and David Huang. So you're being taught by core faculty who know the field and the area. So whether you're here to upskill or reskill, it's very important to get an understanding of how dynamic this program is. And I hope that we can continue to pique your interest so you can enroll. Thank you.
Grace, would you go ahead?
Sure. Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's very nice to meet you all today. My name is Grace O. I'm a faculty member of Human Resource Development Concentration at the Department of Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership here at U of I. I'm also one of the 2 lead faculty in developing this MTC program. My expertise is in the intersection of learning, design, and technology in the human resource development adult learning context. In particular, in my research, I explore different innovations to support various learning processes and outcomes, as well as teaching in online and technology enhanced learning environments. As you can see on the slide here at U of I teach courses regarding instructional and training system design, e-learning related courses, learning technologies, adult and professional education, and program evaluation, and so forth. Next slide, please. I have been teaching this EPOL 472 instructional and training system design course for a number of years now. And one of the reasons that I like to teach this course is that I really get to meet and work with students who are from all over the world and who have a diverse professional background and expertise. And they certainly bring their insights and perspectives that enrich the class discussions and learning. And I personally think that that's really the beauty of online teaching and learning. I personally have a great passion about instructional design because I do believe that competent instructional designers who are able to do a great design thinking can really help different people to have a very meaningful learning opportunities and also experiences which are relevant to the career and professional development of those individuals and also, the organizational performance improvement. In particular, the pandemic started. Since the pandemic started, instructional designers in various organizations, in particular, in higher education institutions, have been really working almost as the first responders in really establishing and accommodating necessary changes in learning. So given the situation, I've seen really increased interest in instructional design, which is pretty exciting personally. So in EPOL 472, you will learn essential theories, concepts, principles of instructional design. And as you can see on the slide, the goal and the projects of this course is displayed. First, as you can see on the right side of the slide, the figure particularly illustrates the content structure of this course. So students will first learn about the conceptual and theoretical foundations of instructional design. And then in the middle is EDI, stands for EDI, Analysis, Design, Development, Implementation, and Evaluation, which is a generic instructional design process. That will be the focal point. So using that process, we'll learn many important essential activities that instructional designers would do. So at the end, students will be able to design an optimal instructional solution to the learning and performance challenges that they identify for their target learners. Next slide, please. So that there are 3 major assignments that can help you to achieve the goal that you saw on the earlier slide. The biggest project is to conduct instructional design project. So you'll do this as a group. I'll explain a little more about this particular assignment in the next slide. Second, there are instructional design case scenarios, which can help you to learn how to think like an instructional designer. The third one, throughout the 2 courses, which is EPOL 472 and EPOL 483, you'll be also developing an e-portfolio to showcase your instructional design knowledge and skills through different artifacts that you'll be developing in those 2 courses. Okay, next slide, please. I'll talk a little more about the major project, which is instructional design project. As I said earlier, students will work with their group members to complete an instructional design project. And using an instructional design model, they will be developing an instructional or training intervention in order to meet their target audience's learning and performance needs. And the ID project includes a number of different activities from various instructional design phases, from various front-end analysis activities to all the way to the formative evaluation. And including myself, the instructional team definitely provides various scaffolding throughout the instructional design process. Next slide, please. The second assignment that I want to talk a little more is that there are 4 instructional design case study scenarios that we'll be discussing in the class. Each of them is related to one of the instructional design phase, such as analysis, design, implementation, and evaluations. And we have in-depth class discussion on this case scenarios during the weekly live sessions, and students reflect on those discussions and also the case scenario. They individually submit their case study action plan report. So that's kind of short description of a big picture of EPOL 472. If you have more questions about the course, please let me know. Thank you.
All right, I'll start. Can you hear me okay? All right, my name is David Huang. I am the Professor of Human Resource Development, and I also teach EPOL 483, Learning Technologies for the MTC program. My academic training covers engineering, learning design, and technology, similar to what you heard from Professor O, and business administration. So the coverage of my experience, expertise, I think will be suitable for the audience and the scope of the coursework in EPOL 483, Learning Technologies, as well as for the purpose of the MTC program. Next slide, please. Perhaps I can help the audience to situate the program MTC in Instructional Center Design a little bit. This course sequence is focused on improving the outcome of learning processes and also to enrich learners' experiences in various organizational contexts. In other words, job title-wise, job description-wise, career path-wise, this MTC certificate, based on my experience since 2018, starting teaching in this sequence, the training from this sequence, MTC in Instruction Design, will help you as a professionals to do at least 2 things. First, if currently you are not in the career path of learning and development professionals, such as training, such as instructional system design, such as e-learning, and that's the first. So with the training from this sequence, you'll be able to start looking into those professional opportunities. We have had students who are thinking about switching their career path from non-learning development area to the field of helping individuals as well as organizations learn. So that's the first thing you would do, or you could do, with the certificate on your belt. Second would be for those of you who are already in the business of learning and development. And with this, the training from this sequence, you should be able to expand your professional practice in various areas. As Professor O mentioned earlier, due to the ongoing pandemic in the field of learning and development around the world, professionals are trying to shift their delivery of the learning development experiences, their training programs, from face-to-face settings to online settings. And we have worked with students with that particular type of need in this particular MTC course sequence. So hopefully this is helping you situate the potential value added function of the MTC that we are introducing to you today in terms of expanding your career options and so forth. Going back to the course, this course is focused on learning technologies. The underlying themes will consider coursework from Professor Oh's EPO 472, Instructional System Design. I personally would consider the outcome of the Instructional System Design course to help you develop knowledge, skills, and abilities to create a blueprint for the intended learning and performance improvement solution. And then you bring that training, the blueprint to my course or this course, EPO Learning Technologies. And in this course, you will learn how to identify appropriate tools. I want to emphasize that particular term. E-learning tools, learning technologies applications, they are tools. They are not necessarily solutions, but they could be part of your technology-enabled and enriched learning solutions. So we are going to look into different tools in learning technologies based on theoretical frameworks, based on best practices, so you can develop your learning and design blueprint into feasible, tangible, comprehensive learning solutions by utilizing a variety of learning technology tools. That's how I would see the relationship between this course and Professor Oh's course in Instructional System Design. However, we have students who will take this course first and then take Professor Oh's course or EPO 472 next, which is also possible. Next slide, please. So there are three major areas of coverage in EPO 483. You can see from the slides. The first one is about the general overview of learning design technology. The second is to look back into the history of the learning design and technology and to understand how we are at where we are today. And we'll move into the theoretical perspective in terms of designing tools and frameworks. And finally, in order to help you as a potential student of the sequence to have a comprehensive understanding of the role of learning technologies as tools for solving realistic learning and development problems, we'll talk about the evaluation, we'll talk about the implementation of the technology enrich and enable learning environments in broadly defined organizational context. I very much believe that you might have a very well-designed learning solutions supported by various learning technology tools. But if you don't know how to introduce to your stakeholders, organizations, then you still cannot generate the intended impact. Next slide, please. Major assignments. First one is the Exploring Learning Technology presentations. You get to dive into specific learning technology tools and share your perspectives with the peers in the class. Second assignment would be the design case studies. You can consider this as an extension of your instructional system design documents. And the emphasis for this course would be identifying technological applications and tools in order to improve the intended learning outcomes supported by e-learning slash online slash technological applications. Finally, we will ask you again to incorporate your learning deliverables as part of your professional e-portfolio. So if you wish, you can share your accomplishments, more importantly, your design perspectives with your audience through the e-portfolio system. Next slide, please. Very quickly, 3 scenarios for the design case study. First one is about enabling learners to understand intended information. Second scenario is about enabling learners to acquire first-hand learning experience through primary participation of certain activities in the online, in the e-learning environment. The third scenario is about the transfer of learning, transfer of performance from the learning context to a performance context to make sense in terms of how you can create values by applying the acquired knowledge and skills and abilities to various, again, learning and development context. Next slide, please. Eportfolio development, we are using a system free to students who are enrolled into the MTC sequence. In the field of instructional system design, learning technology, is very common for people to show their ePortfolio to their potential clients and employers during the interview process. Our students have found this particular artifact useful, helping them again explore potential career opportunities in the field of learning and development, learning technologies, and e-learning. Next slide, please. That's all I have. Thank you.
Now that you've had a chance to hear from both of the professors in the program and a little bit about the 2 classes, just want to expand a little bit more on the format of the classes that Sangeetha touched on earlier in the presentation. The classes are online and they revolve around weekly video sync sessions. We're really excited about the weekly sync sessions to help with retention and give learners opportunities to interact with faculty and peers in real time. There are also teaching assistants who are also available during these weekly sync sessions to provide support as well. Group work can be done in the same format, and faculty have office hours available for students. The weekly sessions currently meet from 6 to 8 p.m., but this may change from semester to semester. This information will be on our website for each semester, and if changes occur during the semester, your professor or a teaching assistant will reach out to you and notify you of the change. The first 2 sessions are required for the courses that cover necessary course information, but participation for all courses highly encouraged for direct interaction, feedback, and to get the most out of the courses. The sessions are designed for enriched learning experiences. And as Sangeetha mentioned earlier, and David touched on as well, there is a pathway from the MasterTrack to Masters of Education. Your MasterTrack courses can lead to a Master of Education. These programs listed here will accept the courses you take as credit, and the pathway is available for you. If you would like to earn a Master's in Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership with a concentration in one of these 5 areas, that is available. And there, in addition, there are areas of study within each of these areas. All this information is on our website at education.illinois.edu/online. If you are interested in earning a master's, we encourage you to apply after you finish your 2nd course and earn your MasterTrack certificate. This allows you to complete the MasterTrack courses, earn the certificate, and take the courses at a discount. Now, another important aspect is enrolling in the program. Enrolling in the program is very easy. You can start the enrollment process online at Coursera at the address listed here. And you can hit the Enroll Now button, which will actually take you to education.illinois.edu/online page, where you can hit the orange Apply Now button on the right side of the page. Once you've hit the Apply Now button, you will need to select certificate and endorsement option, which you see here in this graphic that is listed under undergraduate button. You will then need to complete the academic credit registration form, but we recommend that you review all policies before registering, as once you complete the registration, you are committed to the tuition rate through the program. When you complete that, you will become part of the university, and if you choose to withdraw, you must go through a formal withdrawal process. Upon registration, you do not have to pay tuition immediately, but you will need to pay your bill once it's available through the Bussar's office, and this follows the university's regular billing cycle. If you register for both classes at once, you will be billed for both classes during that semester, but if you only register for one class, then you will only be billed for that class that you register for during that semester. With that said, I also want to remind you that the spring 2022 registration is open, and registration for term A closes on January 3rd, 2022, and spring term B closes on February 28th, 2022. If you have questions, please post them in the Q&A box, or as Gina mentioned, you can email gradservices@education.illinois.edu. And I will turn things back over to Sangeetha to see if there are any other questions that come in during the chat at this time.
Yeah, so thank you very much to David and Grace and you, Travis and Gina. So we're going to open up the Q&A, which is actually already open. So if you have any questions, please feel to type them in the Q&A box, and we're going to take a few minutes to answer your questions. So feel free to stick around and post your questions. If you're done and you just want to review the recording later on, you can feel free to exit now. And we'll be sure to share the recording with everybody that has registered for the session. But yeah, if you have questions, just stick around and we'll be answering them.
So I do see a question about term A and B, and correct me if I'm wrong. So term A starts January 3rd, and term B starts, if I can go back, on February 28th is when, well, that's when registration closes, and the courses start Thursday, the next week after, I believe. I know the information is also on our website. One of the classes is in spring A, and another one of the classes starts in term B. So the two classes are not at the same time in the same terms. You take one class in one term, and then the next class is available in the next term.
So David, there's a question in the chat. David and Grace, there's a question in the chat about ADDIE model and whether any other models are used in the two courses. Would you answer that, please?
Sure. We use the Smith and Reagan model, which is based on ADDIE model. There are other models, instructional design models, that are introduced in the lecture video. There are also video recorded each week in addition to the weekly live session. And I think that one of the recordings, I think probably week 2, addresses a different instructional design model.
In my course, we'll cover a full component instructional design model based on cognitive theory. We also cover a little bit of Dick and Carey model, which is a popular one in the field. There are other design tools based on motivational scaffold, based on transactional distance. I can keep talking about models, but I don't want to use all the time we have today. Thank you.
Here's another question. Maybe I'll ask the group. Will the MasterTrack? Oh, I guess it's already answered. Good. How can we communicate with teachers during the course by means of email or chats or LMS? I want to say all of it, right? David and Grace, what do you think?
Email is the best. I have a policy to respond to students' email within 24 hours. On work days, on weekends and holidays, the response time will be longer. That's understandable. But within work days, Central Time in the United States, that's, yeah, within 24 hours, that's the best.
Same for me. I use emails, especially between the classes, right? During the live session, students can ask questions via chat, and then, you know, I go over those questions and answer those questions. At the end of each session, I allocate some time for group work so the students can meet with their group members. Sometimes students invite me to their breakout rooms and I join and answer their questions during that time too.
Thank you. Another question for the instructors, I think. What tool is used for ePortfolio?
There is a tool called Digication. It's an Eportfolio Development tool that is also supported by the technology team at the Center for Innovations in Teaching and Learning here on campus at U of I. So that's the tool that we're using for Eportfolio development.
Thank you. Maybe here's another question for the instructors. Someone wants to know, will the MasterTrack certificate help with EDD in some ways?
Procedure-wise, if you're existing EDD students degree seeking in our department, can you still take MTC? I don't think so. But
Yeah,
there is a but. Both courses, Professor O's 472 and my 483, they are offered to our degree seeking students as well. So if you're a current EDD student, you want to get trained by Professor O and myself, we are the only two trained instructional design and learning technologists on the faculty in the department. And you can still take the course. We offer them on a regular basis. Same content and same rigor. So you still have, if you're existing degree seeking student, you have access to the courses as well.
so here's another question that I wanted, maybe the instructors can take a shot at this. So someone wants to know if instructional design is even applicable in a low-tech environment, in a government entity in a developing country. What's your take on this, David and Grace?
We actually talked about it last Thursday, during the synchronous session. The challenge I had for students would be designing engaging learning environments with only text. No multimedia, no animation, no video. It is doable, it is feasible, and considering not everyone around the world will have access to high-speed internet, I think that's an interesting design perspective to develop regardless of where you work. So going back to your question, if you work for governments or for organizations that have limited investment in the online learning aspect, you still can effectively contribute to the productivity of your stakeholders, organization, or your workplace. Because going back to Professor O's course, Instructional System Design, the discipline of instructional system design started largely from the military training. So if you think about the context of military training in terms of infrastructure back in the, I would say 50s, 1950s and 60s. So I can argue strongly that the skills from both courses can help you solve problems in, you want to call it low tech versus high tech environments. It's very applicable to all types of workplaces. But, you know, I'm biased, of course.
I want to agree with you, David, too. I do think it's learning to design instruction effectively with or without technology and in any setting. So, yes. Yes, so we have another answer, another question along the same lines. Is the training appropriate for developing courses across K-12 education? And as I think we've been kind of talking about this, that it is really applicable to a variety of settings, including K-12. So I guess there's a question about financial aid, Gina. Are you in the process of answering that? Okay, cool. I'll let you do that. Oh, and here's another question for the instructors. This person says they're living in France. Are there flexible schedules for the live courses? Grace, do you want to start?
Sure. I mean, for the 2 first live sessions, the attendance are required. That's on purpose to establish, you know, to help students to know about the course, get to used to, you know, about the expectations, get to know their classmates, especially the group members, establish some work protocols and all of that. After the first 2 sessions, the attendance is not required. Student can watch the recording instead of being there lively. But a lot of students also come to the class because, you know, the class sessions are pretty interactive. Also, many groups decided to meet after the class. I leave that up to, you know, students, because everybody have a different live in a different time zone, but there are quite a bit of groups decide to meet at the end of the class time. So there's some flexibility, I would say.
I want to concur with what Professor just shared. This term, I have students from South Korea, from the Philippines, from, I don't remember, they're from all over the world. The recording of the session will be available and during the same week. I do want to emphasize the benefit of being able to be part of the synchronous session. In the meantime, we understand things happen. You have many responsibilities to juggle, and this ongoing pandemic does not help either. We are very accommodating, I want to say. If you need assistance, if you need additional support, we'll try our best to accommodate your need.
There's another question about payment. Gina, can you speak to that?
Payments are, once you register for a course, then that notification goes to the bursar's office. And then the next payment cycle, you would receive a tuition bill that would need to be paid. And it would give you a deadline to pay that bill. So there's not a set time that everyone has to pay by. It just depends on when your registration goes through.
Thank you. So do we, so there's a question about if the content is available via mobile apps. Oh, they're clarifying. May I presume that there are platforms that allow access via mobile? So the content will be on the Coursera platform, and you can access the Coursera course on your phone if you wish, I suppose. But let me check in with David and Grace if they have other information to add.
I think that's the question for Coursera. How optimized is their learning management system on a mobile device? That I'm not sure. I have not actually, since 2018, start teaching this course. I have not received any question about participating in coursework via mobile devices.
Can be very challenging as you can't, I mean, you could check something quickly, but you really to participate optimally, it's probably best on a monitor, a regular monitor with a laptop or a computer.
I want to emphasize one thing that Professor O has mentioned. This sequence is a very hands-on learning process. Your instructors, your peers, your TAs, we are all very hands-on participants of both courses. When we design this sequence, one thing we want to accomplish is the rigor of the learning experience that U of I, Urbana-Champaign, is proud of. So the 4 credit hours graduate level coursework will require some of your attention during the, if you take them together in one semester during that 4-month period. I just want to mention that because you will get firsthand experience by being part of the course. You will get instruction and expertise from the faculty, both Professor O and myself. Not only do we teach these courses, we do research in these areas as well. And your TAs, they are advanced graduate students in the department with skills and abilities to help you throughout the process. So in other words, we take these courses very seriously. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's important that we share this understanding. But I don't want to scare you away. This is a very good opportunity for you to upscale yourself. You're going to switch careers to the field of learning design. It's, at least in the United States, my understanding, the job market in learning system design and learning technologies are growing. You say, oh, I don't want another full-time job, and part-time gigs are also very common in this field. Or you want to switch to an entirely different career path. And I'm confident that these 2 courses will give you a lot of advantage when you are looking for opportunities. But again, I'm biased.
I believe the career field for at least the most recent statistics with the Bureau of Labor Statistics is 5 to 10% growth over the next 5 to 10 years still, which is above average.
I see we're coming almost to the end of the hour. There is, oh, there's maybe a couple more questions. Okay. Not real. One is a question. What would tell? Let's see. Why would, I'm interpreting this question from Natalia as in why they should choose this MasterTrack certificate. So that's something we've been talking about. If you are interested in designing instructional experiences, training, learning design, any of that, this would be the program for you. And as David was just saying, whether you want to switch careers or you want to do a part-time gig as a training developer, trainer, educational specialist, curriculum developer. So this is ideal for you. With just 2 courses, you can earn a certificate and layer it to whatever you're doing already. Now, of course, and as we talked about, this is really a pathway to earn a master's in this at our institution. You know, it's a good entry point for an online master's program.
So if I may add, so we are in the business of helping individuals. That's the way I see it. And for our particular MTC, the coursework, the skills you're gonna acquire is that we are going to, once we finish the coursework, you will be in a very good position to help individuals learn by designing effective learning solutions in the context of this particular program with the help of the technological tools. That's the bigger picture, right? And also helping organizations to be more productive, help organizations to learn better. You can even think a bigger picture is you're trying to facilitate changes in many contexts because you help individuals learn, you help organizations grow, then you can facilitate changes for, I would say, good reasons. That's the way I encourage my students in the course. Career path is one thing that's tangible, but the bigger thing, the bigger mission of training, developing competent instructional designers, in my opinion, is to help people change, right? To help organizations change.
There's another question, David, that I know is very important to you and to grades too. It's about rigor, academic rigor. So this person asks, they did a master's through another US university and was a little concerned with the quality of work that's accepted. It sounds like they want to know if a higher level of education will be required of students and if there would be an opportunity to develop and grow. David,
well, let me start.
Sorry, go ahead.
And Dr. O, feel free to
yeah,
chime
I was
in.
going to ask Grace if she wanted to go ahead.
Okay. When we design the courses, for MTC students. We also design the courses for all our degree-seeking students affiliated with UVI, Urbana-Champaign. Rigor-wise, I think many people, different people will interpret that particular term differently. But all I can say is we follow the standards in terms of as if you're training graduate students in our department. That's how I would interpret the level of the rigor in terms of the MTC coursework.
Well, I would echo what Dr. Huang mentioned. This is the same course for our graduate students. My expectation for the level of quality, that students would produce out of this course is the graduate level, U of I, College of Education, graduate level work. So, so that's what I can say. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're almost at the hour, so I don't want to keep anybody any longer. Thank you so much to our faculty lead for joining us today, and thanks to Travis and Gina for being here. And thank you all for attending our session live and for your interest in our program and for all the great questions. And we'll be definitely sharing the recording with all of you. Thank you and have a great rest of the day. Goodbye.